So a few weeks ago on Book Break, I took you on a literary tour of Edinburgh, the capital of Scotland. And since you all seem to enjoy that video so much, I thought why not take advantage of the fact that I'm right here in the middle of London, a city teeming with literary sights to see. If it was difficult to tour Edinburgh in one day, though, it is impossible to show you all of the literary sites in London. So I'm going to take you around some of the sites that you might want to move to the top of your priority list if you live in London or are visiting. And for those of you that can't get to London quite so easily, hopefully this is a fun way to experience some of them together. But now that I have my map, let's have a look at the sites, shall we? First up is the old home and now museum of a very famous English author. Located at 48 Doughty Street is the Charles Dickens Museum. On the outside of the building, you may even be able to spot a little round blue plaque. Now these are dotted across London and commemorate a number of different famous figures, including numerous authors. So make sure to pay attention when you're walking around the streets to your next location and see if you can spot any more blue plaques. You might discover that Vladimir Lenin and Jerome K. Jerome lived in the same building at different points in time. And whilst we're here, we may as well pay a visit to Bloomsbury, and you may be familiar with quite a few figures that were considered part of the Bloomsbury group. This is the title given to an influential selection of authors, artists and intellectuals from the 20th century who all resided in this area together. One of whom is the much beloved Virginia Woolf, who you can find a blue plaque dedicated to in Fitzroy Square. Next up is a trip to Kensington Gardens. This is one of the locations that originally inspired J.M. Barrie's Peter Pan series, as he lived not far away from the gardens themselves. And within these beautiful grounds you will find a statue dedicated to Peter Pan himself, commissioned by J.M. Barrie in 1902 and erected in 1912. It's a little bit of Neverland right here in London. Our next destination becomes obvious as soon as you get off the underground at Baker Street station. And if it isn't obvious to you yet, our next stop is the Sherlock Holmes Museum, located at 221B Baker Street. The address itself was a fictionalised creation by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle and didn't actually exist until this museum was created. But within its walls they've recreated the apartments of Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson, as well as a number of their famous cases. Plus there's a gift shop. And lastly on our travels, I'll take you to the River Thames for one specific site located along its side, and somewhere you might want to end your journey with a show. Yes, that's Shakespeare's Globe, dedicated to the exploration and performance of various adaptations of Shakespeare's work. Well, that's certainly enough trekking around London for me just now. I'm off to go and sit down and read a book with a cup of tea. But if you're still craving some more literary sites in London, then make sure to check out Book Break on Instagram, or you could even check out the Macmillan Collector's Library edition of London, an illustrated literary companion, which holds within its pages the ability to transport you to some fascinating locations. But until next time, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and make sure to share with everyone your favourite literary sites in the comments down below.